Yeah, Santa people. Okay, so we is back with Firefly. This is episode 7. It's called Jaynestown. I'm looking forward to this episode actually because Jayne has been one of my favorite characters. I say between Jayne and Inara have been my favorite characters so far. So this is called Jaynestown. I'm assuming it's going to focus on Jayne. It might not. Maybe it's just a place called Jaynestown and he's got nothing to do with it. I don't know. But just from the name of the episode, Jaynestown, I'm assuming it's got quite a lot to do with Jayne, who's one of my favorite characters. So I'm looking forward to watching this episode and sharing my immediate response and feelings about this episode with you guys. Real quick though, before we start, you might have noticed there is a wet patch on my shirt just about there. And you might be thinking maybe, you know, I spilled coffee or something on myself. No, this is piss. This is piss. I was using the toilet and I couldn't aim properly and I just pissed myself. That's what that is. So now that we've got that cleared up, let's press play and see what Jaynestown has got to say.
I swear, when it's appropriate.
Simon, the whole point of swearing is that it ain't appropriate.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Nara, heading off
Although,
for some glamorous romance. Have good sex.
I mean, you know, why not, right? I mean, you've got to be good at her job so she can keep it, right? So.
Oh, enemies? You? No, how can it be?
Just don't like the idea of going in there empty-handed is all.
Why are you still arguing what's been decided?
Don't let the man go, they're going to get him killed. I mean, they're not, I know, but you know, they're going to get him killed.
We go in, make contact, easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe, you're holding down the fort. Soft hands, definitely a moneyed individual. All rich and lily white, pasty all over.
All right, fine. I'll go. Just stop describing me.
Day keeps getting better and better.
Jayne needs to shoot somebody.
We pay them next to nothing. That way we can pass the savings directly onto you, the customer.
So effectively these guys have got slave labor is what they're saying.
Fair enough. Come to see me when you're through.
So this could be referencing things like blood diamonds and conflict
Guys ain't
minerals.
half as funny as yours. I think it's possible they might.
Oh, they don't like this guy at all. Should have brought his gun.
Bitch.
I ain't sure about this Captain Mel, you know, like, I mean, I get that he's trying to be a good guy or whatever, but he needs to listen to Jayne more. Jayne Moore? Why does Jayne Moore sound like a person's name? Jayne Moore.
Magistrate Higgins, I presume.
You may, but I only make the people I own.
Hey, that's Xander Berkeley. No, not Xander Berkeley. Oh, he was in 24, he was a president.
I have a feeling it will take all your art to deal with this particular problem.
So what does Inara charge for a session? Because she's got to be charging, like, dollars. You know what I mean? Like, she's got to be charging a lot. Like, bare peas, fam. You understand?
It's about faith. You don't fix faith, River. It fixes you.
Yeah, belief isn't supposed to be logical.
Every kind of sense.
It's just belief.
Won't argue with that.
Boy, your eyes are stuck. Get.
Hey, don't be drawing attention to yourself, Jayne.
I advise we all just lay low for a moment.
Well, you know what ain't gonna happen. So they like Jayne. Oh, okay. I thought you said he made enemies, though.
Tagged by anti-aircraft, started losing altitude. Had to dump them strong boxes.
So he tried to rob them. He was trying to give money back.
60,000. Untraceable.
We gotta go to the crappy town where I'm a hero.
Tried to be selfish, ended up doing something good. Hey, it be like that sometimes.
Hello?
But sometimes being selfish is the best way to be selfless.
But I want to put them back, so...
Sorry. What's that?
River? River, come back!
Someone gonna recognize him. Well, more than someone.
Hero of Canton won't be drinking that shung man, yeah? He drinks the best whiskey in the house! Best in the world!
Understand your concerns, friend.
Should have listened to
So far, our
Jayne.
new plan.
Well, actually, probably should have made Jayne stay behind.
Exactly.
But still, should have listened to Jayne.
I brought you here to bed, my son, not throw him a tea party.
Sir,
A companion greeting ceremony is a ritual with centuries of
My
tradition.
son is 26 years old.
Why don't you go on and let us begin our work?
No, listen here, young lady.
Good night, Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, tell him. Imagine your dad buying you a prostitute,
It's a bit
though.
more peaceful.
Raw.
What you said?
I'm not sure if that's a good dad or a bad dad, quite frankly. What do you think of that? Is that a good father or a bad father? Maybe a little bit of both.
I've saved lives.
Oh, has he finally got eyes for someone other than his sister?
Say,
Or was that alcohol talking?
No, it's especially when you're covered in engine grease.
Simon likes her when she's greased up.
Jane's certainly feeling better about life.
Easier to
but
slide in, I
I don't
guess.
really
Said things are going well.
Please, why don't you come on out?
Kind of looks like something out of Fraggle Rock with his hair like that. If you know what I'm talking about.
Hell
You
yes,
old.
preacher.
Companions choose the people they're to be with very carefully.
He did.
So how much does
He did
Inara
paint him,
charge?
That's for dead sure. When he found out, he sent his prods in to
I
take
probably
it back
couldn't
from
afford
us,
it though, still.
But the workers resisted.
Jayne Cobb's come back.
So I think this would be before 24. So he went from playing a mayor, was it? Oh, magistrate rather, to playing a president. So someone in high authority.
Even in Stitch?
And apparently a bad guy both times.
Dad.
Ooh,
It's time you were
spoilers.
on your way. Cobb. Cost you 4 years of your life.
This guy's been away for 4 years, got a missing eye. You really think he's gonna kill Jayne? Whatever skills he had deteriorated a lot in 4 years in that box. And the fella ain't got one eye, he's missing, he's lost an eye because of it. He ain't aiming straight.
Captain.
No, I would never. Not with Kaylee.
Oh,
What do you mean
Rick.
not with me?
Alright, well, you go on now. I got
So Jayne taking advantage of his newfound hero-dom.
It's about the time for a civilized person to have his breakfast. That's the sort of thing would be appropriate, don't you think?
Yeah, big up Kaylee. Don't take no shiznit from this guy.
Did you see a menu?
A man is just a boy who's old enough to ask that question.
She's not wrong.
In our time, I hope it was not entirely forgettable for you,
No, it was.
but it doesn't make you a man.
Get out here!
Oh, playtime's
The
over.
little Jane celebration we got planned comes in.
Think we should be using my fame to hoodwink folks?
Better
You
laugh when
use your
you
fame
say
to
that.
like
No, really, Mal. I mean,
bang that girl, so.
Just get on over to Town Square, Jane. Your friends are waiting.
Every time they don't listen to Jayne, something goes wrong. Like, bro, that's Captain. He needs to get out of his own ego.
He's become kind of a folk hero in Canton.
He can never just let things go.
She thinks it's
He
Mal.
thinks he's this hard-hearted criminal.
You mean you actually know Jane?
Jayne? Jayne Cobb? You're talking about Jayne Cobb?
My dad had him traced back to his ship. He had port control put a landlock on it.
I just spent the last 4 years steaming in a hot box and you're serving me?
It's actually quite hard to walk with one eye. Because I guess it messes up your balance, or I don't know the science behind it, but you know, your orientation, balance. But yeah, if you ever try put like a hand over eye and walk for a period of time, after a while you'd find that you're kind of losing balance a little bit. This guy apparently was in a box for 4 years. He ain't walking straight. I ain't buying it. He ain't walking straight. He ain't grabbing people up like this. Nah, this guy's walking around in circles. You know what I'm saying? This guy's walking around in circles, walking into lampposts. You know what I mean? He's not walking straight and grabbing people. Nah, this is. I don't think they did their research. But yeah, if you try walking, like put your hand over your eye or get an eye patch or whatever, and just try walking for any period of time. After a little while, you kind of feel like a little bit like off balance or something. It might happen right away, but yeah, you'll lose kind of balance. You kind of have to stop a little bit to get your bearings back and things like that. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, of course, I imagine you get used to it over time, right? But just to do it like that, it's not an easy thing to do. So this guy apparently was in a box for 4 years. So I mean, how do you even keep track of time for 4 years in a box? So there's that fact, right? And then apparently he can just come out with one eye and walks and grabs people. Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
We hold position. Understand me?
So these guys doing slave labor, but they like Jayne.
You people been given the shortest end of the stick ever been offered a human soul in this crap hill verse. Well, you took it. And that's... Well, I guess that's something. You gonna talk me to death, buddy? Is that the plan?
This is the plan.
Kid. Oof. Dude, you ain't fighting with a knife in your chest. This guy's been a box for 4 years, got a missing eye, and apparently he could get out, walk straight, shoot, grab people, and fight with a knife in his chest. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. So what is the significance of them speaking Chinese? I mean, or maybe they explain later. I don't know, but they've been doing it for a while, and it's just like, why?
We're fine.
The Chinese government take over.
What? You wanted to make a man out of me, Dad. I guess it worked.
Yeah, so the Chinese government did the Chinese government like take over like the world or something, or the galaxies or something? I mean, don't answer that. I don't want no spoilers. I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm not. I didn't.
See, you're doing it right now.
He wants to bang
What's
his
so
own
damn
sister. It's
important
not your
about
fault,
being
Katie.
proper? So when we made love last night,
When we what?
you really are such an easy mark.
Yeah, it's actually not funny to talk about that sort of stuff, though. I mean, it
don't make no sense.
I laugh, but it's not funny.
Every man ever got a statue made of him. Was one kind of sumbitch or another. It's about what they need.
So Captain does have some compassion. What did the preacher say? It's not about making sense. It's about faith. Faith doesn't get fixed. Faith fixes you. That was episode 7, Jaynestown. That's quite interesting, actually. You know, because it kind of started off with these, you know, with the mothers, and you know, kind of had like this whole slave labor type thing. I thought they might be going with like a blood diamond or you know, conflict mineral sort of type of situation where you know you have people just like working in these really horrible conditions, where people get exploited in some of the worst ways, just so other people can like you know buy diamonds a little bit cheaper or something. Or in this case, mud. So I thought they might be doing stuff like that. And maybe that's the bigger picture of this whole thing. Maybe we'll never know. Or I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of the series, if they come back to that or not. Anyway, with Jayne, and you know, he did this thing completely selfish on his part, trying to, you know, steal money from the magistrate. He wasn't trying to save nobody. He was really just trying to save himself. Literally just trying to save himself. So he kicks out everything, and he kicks out his partner, and just accidentally dumped the money as well. But because they got the money, they see him as his hero, and that was like, okay, from their perspective, it was like they thought he did it for them, and he's just like, nah. I would have kept that money if it wasn't, you know, if it didn't fall out accidentally, I'd be rich. Well, probably wouldn't have come back because he probably wouldn't be flying with the captain, you know, with Mal if he kept that money. But I did like the parallel, I guess you could say, with what the preacher was saying about, you know, faith and how faith fixes you. You don't fix faith, and it's, you know, it's not always about making sense. Then compared to the ending where they were talking about how they probably put the statue back up, and it's like, yes, because you know that's about what they need. It's not really about Jayne at this point. It's about something that you believe. Beliefs aren't always, in fact, beliefs are very seldom logical, because it's not really about things you could prove or reason or, you know, have some kind of clear kind of steps as to why you believe something. Sometimes it's just about, do you just believe it? You can't always explain why you believe something, or, you know, it's just what you believe. And perhaps for them, assuming they did put a statue back up, and assuming the reason that kid jumped in front of the bullet is because he just needed to believe for himself that this is more than just some selfish guy. Like maybe in his mind he thought it was you know, maybe in Jayne's mind he was being selfish, but maybe say like the bigger picture of it is that there's like things at work that created that situation for them to benefit from that money that was taken. And then even though it was dumped accidentally by Jayne, something led it to be there. And perhaps for this kid, he just felt that he needed to believe that there's more to it than what even Jayne might realize. And perhaps that's why he jumped in front of the gun. Saving somebody's life is a good thing. Saving somebody's life at the expense of your own, oof, that's a tough, because it's a good thing and people will call you a hero, but it's also not something you could recommend people do either. I don't think there's too many people I jump in front of bullet for when it comes down to it. I think if there's people that I like, there's people that I like a lot. There's even some people that I love, but I'm not sure there's too many people I jump in front of a bullet for. So listen, if there's somebody's pointing a gun at you and I'm there, I hope you got your will in order. You know what I'm saying? You know, hope you got things settled. I'll see you at the funeral. Yeah, no, that was an interesting episode. I thought just some of the concepts that came up, you know, especially about sort of faith, belief, and things like that. But that guy that was kept in the the thing for 4 years, and he comes down, he's gunning for Jayne. It's like, yeah, I get why you're gunning for Jayne because Jayne kicked him out, but still, shoot the magistrate. Dude had a gun right there. Shoot the magistrate first and foremost, and then go for Jayne. You know what I mean? Do like right in front of you. Shoot him. That's the guy that put you in that box for 4 years. You can't just like, oh yeah, you were in this box for 4 years, but it was Jayne that dumped you, so that's the one you need to go for. Nah, shoot that guy, then go for Jayne. Man, stupid. But anyway, let me know what you think of that. Let me know, this is my big question though. If your dad paid for you to get a prostitute, paid for a prostitute for you, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know. That's the real question I have for you guys today. Is that good father, bad father? Let me know. But yeah, if you got any suggestions, recommendations, drop in the comments, send them through and I'll see what I can do. Like, share, subscribe because we're doing this 10 year Get Me fam. Got more videos on the screen. Check my other channels as well, be much appreciated. But that's going to be it for the minute, so guys, until whenever, if ever, peace.